If you play or want to play fingerpicking guitar, you're in the right place. I'm going to show you 6 fingerpicking warm-up exercises that will revolutionize, that was a big word, revolutionize your practice sessions. Let's do this. Hi, I'm Thomas from Real Guitar Success. A good warm-up routine not only limbers up your hands, but it also can help you progress faster because it helps prepare your fingers for the correct movements. It also makes practicing more fun because everything just works better. I have 6 warm-ups for you. When you watch a video, it'll look like it might take a while to get through them, but you'll see if you actually learn them, memorize them, you can do them all within about 5 minutes. I'll start by explaining the warm-up and tell you a little about its purpose, then I'll go ahead and play it for you. By the way, so we're on the same page, I'll often be referring to the string numbers, and that means the low 6th string is the lowest E string, and the 1st string is the highest E string. We're talking pitch, high as in high pitch. Okay, let's get started with warm-up number 1, the Fingerpicker Developer. We're going to start off working mostly with your left hand. Now, this exercise is designed to help you prepare your fingers to get just in the right place on the fretboard. What we're going to do is go up 1 fret at a time, starting on the 1st fret, 6th string, and then 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret with the pinky. And when you get there, you go on to the 5th string and do the same thing. Keep doing that until you get all the way up to the 1st string. So that's what it looks like when you're there. Now you move the whole thing up 1 fret and come back down. Keep doing that until you get to the 6th string. Then you move up 1 fret and repeat the process. Now on the right hand, we're going to do something. You're going to use your thumb and your 1st finger. So it's a kind of a picking motion. Thumb, finger, thumb, finger. This will go ahead and get your right hand warmed up slightly, but the focus is more on your left hand. It's important that you go slow and get it right. Keep your hand in the right position while balancing that with staying relaxed. Here's what the whole thing looks like, starting with the 1st fret, 1st finger. 5th string, 4th string, now I move the whole thing up 1 fret and come back down. One more fret up and the same thing. Now slide up a fret and coming back. You get the idea. Now, I usually do that and stop somewhere in the middle of the fretboard. You could go all the way up, but it's up to you and depends on where you're at. You could just start doing a few frets up here and then keep expanding it up and down. You'll see as you get used to it, it goes a little faster and the exercise all in all won't take that long. If you find yourself getting tense, stop, shake out your hands and get back to it. The important point here is to warm up and do it right. So if you just go fast and go through the exercise sloppily, you're not doing anywhere near as much good. Let's go on to number 2 now, the triple bass thumb warm-up. The thumb is mostly responsible for the bass notes and often hangs out on the lowest 3 strings. This exercise will help you practice playing accurate bass notes. We're going to keep the chording simple. We're going to use an E chord. We're going to use an A minor chord, which is the same as the E chord moved over 1 string. And then we're going to use a form of the B7 chord without the pinky, just to keep it simple. So it's the 3-finger B7 chord. The main action for this exercise is in the right hand. You're going to play the bass note, and then the 1st string, and then the 5th string, and then the 1st string, and then the 4th string. Now keep in mind as you do this, Try not to yank your hand away. Aim for a good, solid bass note. To do that, you want to make the motion go more down than out. A little bit out, but aim for more down and you'll naturally kind of go out. And with the high string, you want to pull your finger into your palm without yanking your whole hand out. When you yank out like this, it tends to make tinny sounding notes, both in the bass and the high end. So here's what that exercise looks like. We'll start with the E chord. Move it up a fret and back. Same thing. And now over to A minor. Back to E. B7. And back to E. Repeat that whole part. Now up a fret, just like the beginning. Back down. On to number 3, the chord pluck exercise. The chord pluck exercise is a great way to practice planting your fingers, which will help you with many of the fingerpicking patterns. It also doubles as a good warm-up for something like a bossa nova rhythm pattern. We're going to use the same chords as in exercise number 2, the E, A minor, and B7 without the pinky. And you're going to start by planting your thumb on the 6th string and your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fingers on the right hand on the 4th string, 3rd string, and 2nd string. The basic right hand pattern is pluck all the strings together and then alternate chord and bass. It'll look like this. Then you're going to move up 1 fret. Now over to the A minor. And there's a little bass lick that goes here that'll help you work on your pinky a little bit. And then back to the E. A minor. And back to E. Up a fret. Up 2 frets. Back down 2 frets. And on E. So let me show you that bass lick one more time. You're going to pluck all the strings, chord, thumb on the 5th string, pinky down on the 3rd fret 5th string. Now 2nd finger over to the 2nd fret on the 5th string and pluck all together. Chord, and then onto A minor, open 5th string, pluck the A minor chord, and then goes to the E with a full pluck. So all together, it looks like this. Once you learn the basic rhythm pattern and you get that little bass lick, you'll find this whole exercise kind of hypnotic, which will help you relax both your hands. Let's head on to number 4, the rolling arpeggio warm-up. This is probably my favorite warm-up exercise, and I recommend if you do no other one, you do this one. I developed this exercise for myself, and it was deliberately to help me relax my right hand as I start my practice session. I found that without a warm-up like this, that I would immediately start tensing from the very first technique that I was working on. I call it the rolling arpeggio pattern because, well, it's an arpeggio, of course, but it has a kind of a meditative effect after a while, and the idea is to just relax and let your hand flow and roll with it. It's built completely on the E chord, so all the stuff going on is in your right hand, and it's very repetitive, deliberately. Now that string pattern is 6, 3, 2, 1, then to 5, 3, 2, 1, and to 4. Now there's something going on in the left hand, I'll show you in a minute, but that's the heart of this exercise. I know it's simple, but it really works. Now watch the left hand for a minute, and I'm going to call out the strings that I'm hitting with my thumb. 6, 5, 4. Now we're going back to 5. Watch the left hand. It moves up a fret. And then back. Nice and even. Keep the hands relaxed. Now I'm going to go up 2 more frets. Back 2 frets. And then repeat. I'm going to play it once all the way through for you so you get a sense of that rolling feel that we're after. Here we go. Next comes the pinch and pluck warm-up. Now this warm-up might take a little longer to learn, but it's well worth it, and it's a lot of fun once you get it. It uses a very common technique, and you'll notice it sounds a little like songs like Blackbird by the Beatles, and it's also the starting of like a Travis picking pattern. I'll go ahead and play the warm-up nice and slow so you can see how it goes. And finally, we have the triple pinch exercise. We're going to take the pinching technique one step farther. We're using the E chord, the A minor chord, and the B7 chord without that pinky. And we're going to pluck every other string, starting with a 6 and 4. Sounds like this. So that was the whole pattern. We're going to do that over and over on each of the chords. You'll start with 6 and 4, 5 and 3, 4 and 2, back to 5 and 3, 4 and 2, and then 5 and 3, 6 and 4, ending on 5 and 3. And that was the pattern again. Now we'll go up a step with the left hand. And back down. I'm going to play that one once all the way through, starting with the E. Here we go. So that's it for my finger picking warm-ups. I hope it helped you out. If you did, give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like more help with this, check out my Real Guitar Success membership. There you'll find 6 in-depth lessons on each of these fingerpicking warm-ups, along with tablature and play-along tracks for you to practice. You also get access to me for advice. Check out the link below or visit my website directly at realguitarsuccess.com. I'll show you how much fun learning guitar really can be. Bye for now.